We are at the academy in Lijiang City where the awakening ceremony is taking place to see who's gonna be a talented prodigy and who's going to be a worthless turbo loser. A red-pilled, bald-bearded professor is giving everyone a warning about the dangers of chasing three waifus and also telling them that the first awakening is something that decides the future of a person. The higher your rank, the better your life is going to be. In that crowd, everyone has different aspirations. The bald guy wants to become a berserker and use his talent to fight creatures, and the guy with the glasses wants a stealth class so he can become a creepy to match his looks. In this place, a virtual reality game named Eternal got merged with the real world. In that game, people could kill their bosses in real life, so everyone loved it, since the euphoria from killing other people was really cute and fun. Everything inside the game, of course. With that, more and more people got into the game, and one day the tower appears and the monsters started to roam in the city. But strangely enough, the surface of the world expanded by thousands of times, and a large number of secret realms appeared with countless monsters and new races. Every guy was happy because now instead of choosing between ass or boobs, they can choose between elf and succubus. While also everyone now could level up and change their classes to increase their power so they could fight against those monsters. And that's our loser protagonist with sharp eyes and crossed necklace to make him stand out 1% more. His name's Zhou Yi, and he is Chinese. Of course, with this sad boy look, you know that he's an orphan with a hot, cute sister that is in the hospital with a disease that no one really knows how to cure, is untreatable by normal doctors, and he could barely maintain her alive with the help of a low-level priestess. He had to sell everything from simple things like his house to crazy ones like his Valorant skins just to keep her alive. Sad part is that right now that doesn't mean anything since there's no way to cure his sister. He's just waiting for her death. The medical fees are getting higher and higher since she needs a priest to be alive. He bets everything in this awakening ceremony with a strong combat class he can finally buy back his Valorant account. This sus mage professor tells to all of the students that got their names shouted go in the circle so they can awaken their class. Everyone is impressed that the mage is level 24. Even our edgy loser thinks that he's strong, but the most impressive part is the income of someone of that level, which is at least 6 figures. Now he just needs to be 6 foot tall and have a 6 inches noodle, and with that he would have the 666. Then the teacher starts to call the names while our boy is thinking. It's starting, and there's 1,000 of classes that can be awakened, but in this world, with so many monsters, the combat classes are the most respected ones. The first guy that goes gets 3 classes to choose from: pharmacist, enchanter, and the composer. But with not even a single combat class, we know his destiny already. The professor says that at least half of them will get a combat class, so it's not that hard to get. After that, the professor keeps calling the numbers until it is time for our Master Yi to go. Everyone is cheering for him. It seems that he's really good at school. But unfortunately, that it's not always a decisive factor for your class awakening. The professor says that he does have good results and his status are pretty good too. Maybe if he got lucky, he can awaken a nice class. Up to this point, 16 people got a combat class, and the 2 teachers are competing with each other to see who's going to get more combat class students. Everyone looks at his awakening with anticipation while our boy is just standing there, and his cross necklace starts to shine a flame like aura gets out of it, and that's when the system appears, energy detected, activating the strongest class support system as plus. Talent protection of this sacred angel, would you like to accept it? The edgy lord thinks that he's getting crazy, but when he looks again, he sees that it's an actual system with a game-like interface. He bought his necklace in his last life, and yes, he's a transmigrator loser with an accomplishment. At that time, thought that could be a treasure, but after some testing and nothing appearing, he gave up, but now he activated this system and even gave him a big gift. The system shows protection of the sacred angels plus affinity with light types greatly increased. All light type and divinity type skills will have an amplified effect. At that moment, everyone was staring at him, asking why he's not moving and why he's looking in the air like a mentally challenged idiot. But that's when an explosion happens. The red-pilled professor and the sus mage were in disbelief. From the sky, a heavenly creature, juicy blonde angel with silk clothing, started to descend. His necklace was shining as she was getting closer with some big beautiful toes and 6 wings. She tells him, light is your belief and the source of your power. Under the belief of the sacred, the light will always protect you and burn away all evil. Then she vanishes and goes into his forehead, leaving a message: I will always protect you by your side. Our protagonist just go away few inside him when suddenly other 3 figures appears in the sky where everyone there is in disbelief, cause it seems that those 3 are hidden classes. The Mage of Light, Sacred Priest, and Saint Knight. The juicy big albino bimbo melon girl is the Mage of Light that I would choose without a single ounce of hesitation. She is a DPS but has no defense, and with so many monsters around, he would need someone to defend him, and that would be too risky. The priest, of course, has a ton of healing, life-saving skills, and even the resurrection, but of course it's not really that good to kill monsters. The Saint Knight, on the other hand, can do everything half-ass, but at least he can be independent as a feminist woman in this day and age. But for edgy lonely boy, that's the one that suits him most. So he chooses that one in the system, and damn, that knight is big as hell. The knight swing his hammer 3 times, saying one word, which each swing honesty, bravery, empathy, and he finishes with responsibility to commit acts of glory. Boom, he hits the floor and says that those should be the acts of a saint knight. It vanishes, and the energy goes for Master Yi, while his back shines, and congratulations on awakening the Saint Knight class. Okay, look at him having all the swag. Maybe he could have gotten the priest's skill and heal his sister, but this one makes him look much cooler than a fragile, creepy priest. He receives 3 skills: Blade of Pure White, Slow Regeneration, Weapon Blessing, and 10 extra points. Everyone now wants suck his clique, to be his friend. They are all shouting, asking to form a party for the next exam. An albino teach shows up saying, Jesus, stop gathering here, move away. Master Yi, good job, bro. You should go home and get some rest. Come to the headmaster off tomorrow. Back to his room, he sees that he has 20 strength, 18 constitution, 17 agility, and 15 intelligence, and also still has some points to assign. He just puts a little bit on everything to get stronger overall, and the system gives him a gift for using points for the first time, while also activates a mission. It's a daily mission where he can get 3 rewards, 10 extra points, a Saint Knight skill, or a random Saint Knight equipment. If that's the prize, he must take it. So the sky flashes, and he's going to be transported to a different place. The system tells him to take the trial seriously, cause dying, and this trial results in dying in real life. Damn, what the hell? This is the daily mission. In my time, they used to do 100 push-ups, run 10 kilometers, and call it a day. But he is sent to a mine, and there's already someone into his back he looks to see, and the creature with a huge claw is coming to kill him, but he skillfully evades, thinking, it's my first time facing a monster, I will try to kill you without using any skills, cause him super cool. The monster comes to another one, but he dodges another one, and he evades. He keeps sidestepping all attacks, cause with his status, this is too easy, this monster is too slow, and you can see all the movements. Jesus, he was overconfident and has a new hole in his chest. It only took 10 seconds to this turbo loser get his confidence shaken. He's on the floor. Okay, the monster is coming to the second one, but he uses the slow regeneration into his belly that within 13 seconds recovers an amount of health points. He does a cross sign with his arms and throws the Blade of Pure White, creating a combo with his skill. Tiger Pounce grabs one enemy in front of you and run forward, and with that, he slams the monster into the wall and shouts, let's go baby, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe he's a Charlie fan? Then punches the monster with so much power that it pierces its chest. You killed the unsigning trial monster. Please choose 1 rewards. He knows that he will get a lot of status as the time goes on, but right now he needs something to help in the fight, so he chooses the weapon and receives a basic one-hand sword. Now the trial is done and appears back in his room. His cell phone rings and it's time to go to the hospital. In the news, everyone is talking about him, the only guy who received a hidden class in the last 50 years. In that room was his sister, watching, but suddenly, the nurse gets into the room and shouts at the poor girl, time for your medical fees, 10,000 right now or get out. Pretty much the average healthcare in the United States. The sister is in shock, asking why it's so expensive. Wasn't 5,000 before? Are there any mistakes? She knows that her big loser brother can only receive 5,000 by working 3 jobs. She don't think he can pay all of this average American healthcare, whereas the good old communism. But the nurse tells her that she used a lot of expensive medicine this month, and they even had to call a priest there, so if she doesn't pay, she can check out. The sister was lost, asking, what do you mean by check out, you? That's when a guy enters the room and grabs the nurse's shoulder, saying, Miss Nurse, it seems that I heard you insulting the patient with how sharp your mouth is. I wonder if you can explain all of that in the director's officer. The nurse goes off talking, saying to the sister, Ju Yun, you must pay your medical fees today. Then the sister asks, are you guys here to ask for the payment? The guy are all friendly cause, probably they already know that she is the sister of the edgy saint. The guy told her, you must be Miss Zhou, I'm a big friend of your brother. But that's when our boy gets into the room saying, I just went to pay the bills. And they asked me to pay 10,000, do you know what's going on? Then he notices the other guys there and asks, who are you guys? The guy introduces itself, hi, my name is Zhao Wenbing and I'm the mayor's secretary. Also, I would like to discuss some things with you. Our boy is suspecting with why is someone like him looking for him, cause that guy is the most powerful man in Zhenggai City. He just shakes the guy's hand and the mayor tells him that this patient room is unsuitable for conversation. Let's go somewhere else, and tells his security to keep a look on his sister. In cafe nearby, a group of friends is talking about someone that got a hidden class, and it's all over the news. The name is Zhu Yi. Here's the photo of him. The girl says he looks pretty handsome and that she would accept some heavenly seeds from him. But are right besides them talking with the mayor, who already knew, of course, of his situation, and tells to our boy, Mr. Zhu, congratulations on receiving the S talent protection of the sacred angel. And he's interested in our boy. Then he gave him some cultivation resources for him to prepare for the exam. The guy keeps giving him things. From today onward, there will be a professional medical team to serve your sister 24 hours even. Our boy thinks that this trucker knows everything he needs, so he can't refuse such a good offer. Them tells him that he accepts. Back into the room, his sister is all happy knowing his class cause that means that he's going to rise it to the top. He tells her to stop talking nonsense cause she needs to focus on recovery, but she's curious with his new exclusive rank skills. He remembers that he got an attack skill, healing 1 and a blessing, and now it's the perfect moment to try to heal her. The name is Slow Recovery, but maybe he can do something good when he uses golden glow appears around her, and she says that it's so comfortable, warm, cozy. The same sensation as being into a hot spring receiving a full body massage. Lil Mindbroken's sister is already drooling. He asks if she's feeling better, and she tells him that it's amazing how it overflowed her. It's not hurting anymore, even her hands are getting warmer. Seeing his sister so fulfilled, our boy smiles. Next day, the bald red-pilled is talking with him, explaining that a bunch of universities want to have our boy, even some teachers from the top 10 are fighting to get him, and he needs to make a good decision so he can receive the best training in the future. Our boys asks which universities are those. Headmaster just says that is a bunch of universities, but our boy knows that none of them are from the top 3. Red-pilled explains that the top 3 universities only recruit based on results and they don't care about talents and ranks. He would need to prove himself. Inside the room, a discussion is happening. When they go in, everyone is staring at them. Each one of them is from some different university, and of course all of them want our Heveling filler boy. Our boy says nice to meet you all, and everyone is thinking that he's a good, humble, and steady. Hot Wheels Track says that he's going to cut to the chase. I'm going to explain Rong Hun's university offer that is 2 million in St. Knight class exclusive skill book. Our poor trash is impressed people in this world, makes 6,000 a month, and he's getting 2 million like that. But the dollar store Ishigo Kurosaki says that the wrong university is stingy as ever cause the Zoshu University is offering him 3 million, 3 skills, and even a instructor level 56. Even Red Pill is impressed cause level 56 is near the top of the planet. But that's when a succulent milk carrier comes with the best offer. She tells that he's only going to get 2 million but will receive a B-class cultivation resource. Red Pilled is staring at him, begging for him to accept that proposal. This resource is not even possible to buy with infinite money. It's so good that even a piggy can become a monster. The Syrupy Babe asks which one he's going to choose. But our Sigma says, I'm sorry, but I have to decline all of you trash because I'm not interested in special admissions. She asks why, and of course he explains that he wants to enter the top 3 universities, the places where only 1,000 people per year go, and even some other races are competing for the spots. Everyone in the room is laughing at him. Hot Wheels Track says that he thought that he's were a good kid, but he's just an ignorant brat. Then he releases his aura telling his that he saw his life history. He knows that he don't have enough resources to go to those places, is weak, and also from a low-status family. Feeling the aura, he knows that if it was yesterday, he would drop to the floor right now. The guy keeps telling him even. Red Pill gets in front of him asking what is the meaning of this misery. Z, you want to bully my student. But the delightful waifu is impressed that our boy is still standing there. The guys leave saying, those places are not only seeking for strength, they want someone with the right attitude, and if it's you, you're not going to be recruited. I will leave you first. See you next time. The girl tells him that he do have courage, but Hot Wheels' words are true. There are countless elites in our country, and the other races are even stronger than humans. For you to enter the top 3, it's as hard as climbing the heavens. But our lil bro is confident. He tells her that he's going to prove his strength, and she will see the results of his exams. He knows that he has only 1 month to prepare. He needs to grow at maximum speed, but he's sure that is doable cause he has the system. Red Voluptuous Juicy is impressed with his resolution and strong mind. She feels that his eyes are ready for the battlefield and maybe even the bed field, so she leaves saying that she's looking forward for the results of him. We skip 1 month to 1 month later. With no Rock Lee training arc this time, the exam will begin soon and everyone is nervous, and the examiner says that this time it is the Demon Young, and all the students knew that they were doomed. Also, they all knew that our boy refused to enter any university. Of course, they think that he's dumb trash loser with a massive ego. But that's when he shows up and our boy is exuding a golden aura while everyone thinks that he's different than before. He feels powerful. Alone in front of the gate that shows a message, secret realm deep inside the dark forest, level 10 to 13 difficult, easy, hard, and nightmare, number of people 1 to 5. Be careful with the Minotaurus. This side of trash characters are all thinking that this is too much. The cause dark forest monsters are the hardest to deal with. But from behind someone's, it says, remember, if your life is in danger, use your return scroll. Immediately cause dying. The map means you die in the real life. It's better to fail the exam than losing your life. Time's up and everyone vanishes. We have some warriors, some assassins, some elemental mage, and even some gunsmen. But of course, everyone wants to watch the edgy Saint Knight. Everyone from the elite classes went alone in the dungeon, cause this is the best way, so you can get all the experience possible. And our protagonist is in the highest level, the Nightmare, while also being solo, which everyone considers a crazy thing to do. The director of education asks to Bald why he let the edgy boy going solo. That's just crazy. He has buffs and healings. You should have a party with him. And even worse, he went into Nightmare. That means he has a 40% chance of dying. You know that the city has given him a lot of resources just so he can get a good result, but he's risking everything. Red Pill tells him, brother, relax, he ain't beta, he ain't alpha, he even ain't sigma. His lidma balls and just watch. Our boy is running when he sees something and pulls his weapon out of the system. It's the same monster that he killed in his daily training, and that's good for him. He now has a single-bladed axe, bronze 2 stars. It's one swing in the middle of the beast, and it's over. Look at his edgy face with all those status, but why his intelligence is so high, maybe he's playing some forward chess, and we will eventually discover. He's level 13, and he feels like he can make to the top rankings and go to any university that he wants. The monsters are not attacking, so he shouts, if you're not coming to me, I'm going to get you bits. Using his weapon, blessing level 4 after so many dark, edgy protagonists who can see someone shining with the glory of the heavens, and it feels refreshing. Because he is a Saint Knight and is using a holy weapon, he gains an extra 21 points, something that would make anyone jealous, even though in this place you only can use a bronze weapons. With so much extra status into his weapon, his strength, it's way above bronze. Bro, it's a menace. He grabs the monster hand and sends it flying. Another one died. Outside everyone is sure that he put all his points into his strength. But the old guy tell that this is not possible. He's way faster than the cat's monsters. That means that he has a lot of speed and even killed some monster with magic skills. That means that his intelligence is also not low. But the guy wearing a suit thinks he's mentally challenged to them trash cause. He can have a high combat status, but his methods are unwise since he wasted all his power and energy on the first wave of monsters, but on Nightmare there's many more monsters waves. Even excellent mages fail because of magical energy consumption, and his weapon weight is a burden. Swinging something so heavy he's bound to get tired. His fate is already sealed. He's going to die for those monsters. Jim Bra's cats are coming for him, and everyone wants to know what he's going to do this time, but he just swings his axe and makes use of skill with his hands, throwing energy blasts, then sends his axe flying like a boomerang, and after it kills a bunch of monsters, it goes back to his hand, and he finishes another one. In a few seconds, all the cats are dead, and a portal appears, so he goes to the next level. Another legion of Trembolone cats are waiting for him. Outside, someone doing a live stream saying, it's your favorite host, KK. Just another K and things would have gotten historically wild. He is streaming our boy performance for everyone cause he's on a track for setting a record with only 3 minutes and 17 seconds. But everyone wants to know how high is his constitution cause he should be tired already. But he's just swinging his big axe without any once of fatigue. The girl with the head hair says that the master is smiling too much, maybe he's enjoying our heavenly boy performance. But he says that's nonsense and she should just watch. But he's thinking to himself, damn, is my smile so big and obvious? Back to our boy, testosterone cats are just waiting, but behind all of them, there's a Minotaur level 14, and the cats, this time, have elemental attributes. He thinks that's crazy. The chance of him dying now increased it by 100-fold. The Minotaur screams, and all the juicers ran to kill our boy, but there's even some magic cats that used some spell and locked him in place. He's impressed with the teamwork from the monsters. Mage are behind, healers giving buffs, and warriors in the front line. But he takes his necklace, put his hands around it, makes a jutsu sign to use the cross of the sacred light. Now it's explained why his intelligence is the higher status. All the poor cats are dead cause no low-level creature can survive to his heavenly spells. Everyone thought that the Saint Knight was support class, so how can he be so strong alone? And even worse, why he have great B skill, since they could only afford to give him some great C skills. He's standing there face to face with the Minotaur, and just points to the monster saying, you're the only one. Come on. The Minotaur uses the skills Berserk and Superior Body, while also activates the Stomp to break the floor, and to take advantage of the lack of balance, the Minotaur rushes, and in the air our boy should be ducked. But he uses the air's lash and sends another cross like your average Christian. There goes another blade of light, another cross, and he's rushing this time cause he knows that the Minotaur has a thick skin, so he needs a critical blow, and Jesus, he slashes right through it like butter. Brother, poor Minotaur is looking at him, asking himself how he got defeated so easy. Edgy boy just see that he's alive, so he stomps on the head. My man is cold, and now he knows that the next stage should be the boss room. The guy with the suit is getting impressed. He finds hard to believe that this boy started to train only 1 month ago, and even congratulate Red Pilled for creating such a good boy. While Bald is thinking that the best result that this whole school got in all those years is 721, maybe our boy can reach a whole new height. Someone points and asks why he didn't rest before entering the boss room. Suit guy with a bipolar disorder is angry again, now saying that he knew that he was dumb F. Now he lost all his advantages because he should have recovered before. But the reason for that is cause he's going for the record, and if he wants to be in the top 100, he needs to finish this in the shortest time. Sitting in the throne, the boss says, human, how you dare to step into my place? It's a level 16 Minotaur king. Because the level difference is too large, he cannot see anything else. The Minotaur instantly attacks him, saying that he must be prepared for death, but he uses the blessing of courage and the gift of God, also the gift of protection. Bro is Overload 2.0, getting ready for a fight. Now with the pay to win, he says, little cow, I'm over here, all buffs activated, Saint Knight's initial form is up. They go towards each other, and the Minotaur is way bigger than him. He slashed and handed the Minotaur, but unfortunately, even with 4 buffs, he cannot pierce the flesh, and now is purple meatball time to attack, and its hammer is already over him. He sidesteps in the right moment, but the second one he couldn't dodge, and that hit was critical, sending our poor boy 5 pillar to the other side of room. Thanks to this armor, his bones are intact, otherwise he would be dead. But luckily now, after this exchanging of blows, he knows what he needs to do and pulls out the Spear of Victory level 3 grade C, throws a spear made of condensed divine light, and the enemy who has been hit will receive high damage. Okay. It's going to be that classic Fate Stay Night power, with all the spears surround him and going in the direction of the Minotaur, but the Minotaur is defending. He knows that the best strategy would be to try to slowly down and kill this Minotaur bit by bit, but with that would be impossible for him to get the first place, and he believes that the teachers wouldn't create a challenge that is impossible, so it must have some ways to get out of this. Trading some blows, he noticed that the Minotaur is not really that fast, so maybe if he attacks from all angles all the time, he eventually will find a gap. But the system warns him you are low on mana, please replenish, but that was when he got the first hit on the Minotaur, and he learned that the Minotaur has another weakness. His resistance is low cause, even if he has a thick skin. When pierced, his health is low. It's like a big skeleton with a thick armor, and when it gets hit, it's hard for him to regenerate. He needs to go all out all the time. If he runs out of mana before killing this guy, he's out. He didn't want to take a gamble, but there's no more chances cause there's no more time. He pulls out the golden sacred sword out of the system, and with a mighty divine slash, he cuts right through the Minotaur and finally killed the boss. Congratulations on completing the nightmare difficulty. Time 90 minutes and 24 seconds. The exam is finished. You made an SS clearance, and it's first place. Our boy was happy, thinking, now I can go to any university that I want. I finally did it. In the year that he transmigrated to this world, his mother passed away, his sister was sick, and he had a lot of debt. All of that was pressing really hard against his back every single night, and he felt as if he was going to explode. But even under such harsh conditions, he chose to not give up, always thinking, if he can't increase his status, he will practice his combat skills and cultivate his fighting spirit. The thought giving up never crossed his mind. And the system's appearance gave him a second chance in life, and now his fate is within his hands. He needs to work harder and grind harder than anyone else. And at that moment, his heart was the same as always, unshakable. He receives 5,000 XP and 23 points. Also goes up to level 13 and even gets some items like a forest belt and a forest ring, and even a Minotaur King's cards. I love cards. That reminds me of Ragnarok Online and Hunter x Hunter. When he arrives in the middle of the arena, everyone is shouting his name, Master Yi, you are my god. Fill me up with all your healing. Hearing such offers, he got shy. He asked himself what is going on. That's when Bald shows up. He went solo and finished in under 10 minutes. You are an honor for this academy. From my years of experience, I know you have the highest potential of this district and your future is bright, boy. But our boy is humble and just says that they are overpraising him. He's not that much. When suddenly a car pulls up, come on, the results will be up in 3 days and you need to rest first. After that, the mayor fulfilled his promises to our boy. His sister got a professional medical team 24/7. When he arrived there, he told the nurse that he's here to give his sister some good news, and even the nurse knows that it's because he placed first on the exam. But when they are in the elevator, it starts to get too cold inside. When the door opens, everyone is frozen. He knows there is a problem with his sister, so he runs and the nurse tries to follow him, but she just got frozen in place. When he arrives, he sees a dragon and a healer with her. He pulls out the holy energy. The healer tells him to not attack, but her arms are already becoming a popsicle. He stops his attack and asks why he can't attack. She explains to him that her heart is at risk. If he attacks, he can kill her. Then he asks why there is a dragon here. She tells him that it was sudden, but the cold inside her body exploded and everyone got frozen. The best that she can do right now is suppress the cold, but he should hurry up and leave. But our hero wants to know what's going to happen with his sister. She says that she doesn't know. She can only do this much right now. They need a high-level priest. Our boy says that he understands and opens the system, using all his points to upgrade his low recovery, and the skill goes from level 4 recovery to level 10 regeneration. With that, he uses it on his sister. The priest is impressed cause his skill is more powerful than hers, and she's a level 23 priest. He keeps healing the girl and asks the priest to go down and inform the secretary, we need a high-level priest quickly. The girl warns him it's hard to get a high-level priest because they have a lot of things to do. Even if we call the one that we know, she won't make it in time. He says, doesn't matter who you call. Tell that person that the top one ranking in this exam promises to do one thing for him unconditionally in the future. She agrees and goes, while our boy thinks that this burst of cold is something that she has been experiencing for the past year, and that's why she always suffered intense pain across her body. He knew that it was getting worse recently, but he didn't imagine that it could affect the outside world. Some time passes, and it's afternoon already while our edgy boy is trying hard to hold on, but things aren't going that well. That's when a green ball hits the dragon and bounces through the room. He looks back and shouts, "Don't touch her." But he also gets hit and is sent flying. That's when we see a big-breasted baseball healer, and that's a new search tag for me. She looks at the dragon and says, "Come." The dragon attacks her, but she just hits it on the head. Then she uses a bind healing spell on the dragon, activates a power within her eyes, and hits the dragon once more. With that, she sends the dragon inside the sister again, then hits the floor with her bat, sending a healing shockwave, and everything starts to unfreeze. She says, "You must be Zhu Yi. I heard about you." Her name is Chu Ling Na, a level 35 secondary awakened priest. He says that it's nice to meet her, and she tells him that she came over because of the director, but she's thinking that it's impressive that the guy didn't freeze for this long time. He goes to her and asks, "Mr. Chu, do you know what disease my sister got, and is it curable?" She tells him that the leaking of cold energy and the refinement into a form is a sign of bloodline awakening. Zhao Yi is shocked because when the game first appeared, a lot of players chose the characters to be other races as elves, giants, and demons. When the game merged with reality, those players received the traits of those bloodlines. For the past 200 years, players married humans and the blood got diluted over the generations. They gradually lost their powers except for a special condition, bloodline awakening. The healer explains that this bloodline awakening can bring both fortune and misfortune, and a successful awakening means that one can control the power of other races and the learning level will be multiplied. But if they fail, they will either be paralyzed or die on the spot, but his sister suffered from the cold because her body cannot handle the power of the bloodline. If her guess is correct, she awakened a rare freezing bloodline. Damn, we have Sherlock Holmes guys. But she needs to change her constitution if she wants to carry this rare bloodline, and as far as she knows, the treasure called Freezing Lotus can change her constitution, but it's very rare. The last time that she saw one was 30 years ago, and someone anonymous bought it for 13,000 million. And she warns him, "Your sister will not be able to suppress this cold for more than 3 months, and after that she will explode." But one simpler option is to just seal her bloodline, but that means a curse, cause she will not have any extra powers. 5 days later, and our boy's on the juice, training to be the next Chris Bumstead, doing some squats, push-ups, and sit-ups. Right now he's choosing the stats points reward, and every day he's leveling up everything equally to reduce his flaws. He gets a notification giving the exam results. It's announced. Congratulations for receiving the first place. Rewards are going to be according to your results, and you got a bunch of skills. God Hands, Great Divine Ting, Resurrection Cross, 1 mystery skill, Exorcism, Punishment of Light, and 33 stats. In the news, everyone is talking about our boy. The guy was only a level 10 when he entered the realm and even got first place. He is the headline everywhere. The guy from his school is always smug. Yeah, I knew he would be successful when I saw him. That's why I advise everyone to invest in him as much as possible, because I have a good eye. But of course there are some people that don't believe in him. A Saint Knight, which is a support class, finishing a nightmare alone, I think he's cheating. But the girl says that she has the recordings. It's real, he's powerful, and his holy cross is more powerful than a high-tier flaming magic from a main mage, while also he has a bunch of buffs. Someone is watching on a big screen and he's impressed with the fact that it only took him 9 minutes, and that's 20 seconds faster than him. He says that he's interesting cause he dares to take his honor. That means that he's looking for death. Our boy was just chilling and walking in the city when he got a notification on his cell phone. He just received the 5 million, and the secretary Zhao Wenbing explained that he will also get a luxurious place to live. He knows that everyone's acting like that because he got the first place bunch of gold diggers. He tells the guy, "Choose the house for me," and the guy on the phone tells him that the people from the top 3 universities are on the way for him. But actually, they are already there. Someone goes to him and say, "Hello, Mr. Zhao, I'm from Raoyang University, and I'm here to recruit you." But a helicopter appeared and the guy shouted, "Yo, you told him that he was dumb, so why are you here today?" The guy trembling says, "Mr. Zhao, if you are willing to go to our school, we will pay you 4 million. But the other one jumps from the helicopter and tells him that whatever Rao University offers, they will give him the double. Moda University will have Zhu Yi. But that's when a pink-haired fish-eyed bimbo appeared saying that she's going to be taking him, and then she just grabs him and goes flying. Whispering some juicy offers with her warm breath in his ears cause this girl knows how to negotiate. She says, "Mr. Zhou, King Jing University has nothing but cultivation resources. For the 4 years that you're going to be staying there, you're going to receive a great cultivation resource every year." But someone blocks her flight, and it's a dark masochist gothic thick, and now the competition is getting fierce. The goth girl tells him that whatever they offer to him, the Kunjing University will give him more. The guy from the helicopter increases his bet. If he goes to Moda University, they will give him a full set of golden grade equipment. They fly down back to the floor, and the pink-haired girl says that she's not kidnapping him. She just wants to have an intimate conversation with our boy so he can warm her body with his cozy healing skills. But Sato Babe ain't letting this heavenly boy slide off. "I'm from the Sukang University, and I'm the recruitment teacher, Sumai ER. She tells him that the Sukang University got the first place in the last 4 years, so it is the best place if he wants to get stronger. They could even get him some great resources. It's funny, because our boy hasn't said anything yet. He's thinking that all those 3 universities' conditions are pretty similar. All of them will grant him a good future, and if he wants to get even stronger in university, he needs the one that suits him the most, so he chooses the thick Sato Goth Girl University. The girl pulls out a big 10,000-word contract for him. Take a look and sign it, if there's no problem. The other recruiters are pissed because Goth Girl always gets the good ones. Our boy is impressed with the fact that she can use skills without his staff, and that means that she's a high-tier mage. He asks her, "What is your level, Mr. Su?" She says that she's level 42 and it's a second awakening mage. But the world out there is really big, so when he enters the university, he will see more younger and powerful people than her. He thinks that this is great because after he received the system, there's nobody that can rival him in his age, and once he enters Shukeng, he will face a lot of stronger people, and that means that he will get stronger faster. She says that she can see his desire for fighting. What an interesting boy, she thinks. Don't lose your time, teacher, asking for some healing. After signing the contract is fulfilled, and she says that she's going to give him 1 week to pack his luggage and take him there. He asks her if this semester is going to start already. She explains that this is so they can get the best result possible in the National Freshman Exchange Contest. Then we see our boy and his sister getting to their new house, and she is in a wheelchair. This mansion is the one that the government gifted to you. There's 3 floors in total, and the second floor has a specialized training room for you, and also the area has a 3,000 square meter. I won't disturb you anymore, so please take a rest with your sister. Our boy tells the secretary to wait and says, "I have something that I would like to request from you. My sister is not fully healed and her body is still weak, even though Sister King will stay by her side. I hope you can look for her in my stead for some time." The guy says that it would be his honor to do that, and the teacher from Su University came to take him. He tells his sister, "Remember to call me if there's any problem. You need to do everything that a priest tells you, and also Sister King will check your body every day, and secretary will arrange it for you to go to school." She's bored of all those orders, blah, blah, blah. He pinches her cheek, saying, "I heard you." Now he's in the car, and the teacher asks him, "Is this your first time traveling long distance?" He says that it is, so she tells him to get prepared. They even fly into a teleport. 1 second later, they were already in the university. He asks her, "We are not short on time. Was it really necessary to use teleportation magic? Cause he knows that those university places are usually under military control, and you need to send a request so you could teleport there, but there they are." The teacher explains that the university is working with the military, so they built a large-scale teleportation array near the school, which is safe and convenient. Now we are already here. He looks to the place and says that it's insane how big it is. The teacher just tells him, "Let's go cause you need to check in." Something passed by his side, and it was a guy that was being thrown. We see a new albino babe with purple eyes and grape-sized juicers. That's what I like to see. Variety. She shouts, "I said I don't want to talk to you. And this is a warning for everyone, don't disturb me again. I won't go easy on you." Everyone looked at the guide. Our boy knows that the girl had a demonic bloodline because of the magic patterns. The teacher says that plenty of students and teachers in this university have different bloodlines, so he shouldn't be surprised when he sees them in the future. He responds, "Don't worry, even if there are other races, as long as they are on the side of humanity, I won't be hostile towards them, cause I wouldn't hate the whole demon race just because of my father's death." Okay, new information. The teacher tells him, "Good, here's your student ID." He sees that it even has a ranking score, and the teacher then explains to him the school structure. The first is the ranking. Every year has its own rank, and of course, the stronger you are, the higher you are in the rank. For the freshman, the ranks are based on the exam. He is number 1, and of course, the strongest in the freshman, but the rank is temporary cause every month they will have a competition, and the ranks will be rearranged according to the results, so from today onwards, he is the target of everyone. All the freshmen are going for him, and in his position, he says that he's already the first place, so he doesn't plan to give this position for anyone. Next is the score system. She tells him that the freshmen receive score based on their ranking, and you can use those points to buy meal equipment, potions, skill books, and everything. Also, if he gets enough score, he can get anything, even S-rank skills and resources. Other than ranking, there are 2 ways to receive scores. The first one, you go to the board of missions and grab some quests, and the harder the quests, the more points he can get. The second place to get points is the Heaven and Earth, ranking everyone. There also receives points based on the ranking, but there's 5,000 students in this university, so he will need to get stronger to get on that. He nods his head and says he understood. Then other than that, this university has 3 realms, and can go to the training room to practice to increase your level. This training room remembers me from Hunter x Hunter. Hisoka's gone. I love that fight. There he can fight robots or people, and that's how this university works. The more points, the more resources he will receive. This is the way of surviving in this place. Our boy seems to like it. That's when another teacher greets her while they pass by, but the girls are all looking at our boy, asking who is he. The teacher is leading him personally while we were led by seniors in groups of 10. Is he a VIP or something? The guy that is a senior explains to the overflow girls that special recruitment students will have a teacher assigned to them to help them. First, to familiarize them with the school faster, and second, to have an easier time recruiting them for their house. The albino girl is thinking about our boy, so he's the first place I need to know more about him. The robot Sacy, first place, level 13 Saint Knight. And the randoms don't seem to believe, saying that it's impossible. A Saint Knight is a support class, and in the second place, it's a level 14 Berserker. How can a support class be faster than a DPS class? But the girls are thinking that our boy is handsome enough to be a celebrity, and it would be incredible to receive some buffs from him. Even Silver Bimbo is getting shy, and she cannot stop looking at our boy. The guy at her side gets envious seeing that all the girls want to feel the healing of our edgy lord and shouts, "I think the first place is fake." Our boy looks back and the guy points his finger saying, "I am a level 13 punishment knight, rank 38, and I suspect that you don't have enough strength to be rank 1, so I'm challenging you to a duel." The senior grabs him by the shoulder. Student duels are something that you resolve in private, so don't waste everybody's time. Everyone thinks the same thing. What the hell is this guy doing? But the side characters can't hold themselves when they see the chance to be humiliated, so he says, "Don't worry, senior, I got this." But everyone now wants to watch, of course, and they know that this Legion guy wants to use our hero as a stepping stone. That's because they think that a Saint Knight is not a strong fighting class, so we can easily step on him. But our girl healer asks, "Why should I accept the challenge?" The guy bets 100 score points. You get that if you win, and if you lose, you don't need to give me anything. Our boy wants the points, so he needs to accept this challenge, but also wants to use this guy as an example. He needs to be cruel, and only then they will remember. So he says, 300 score points, and I will fight you. Everyone was puzzled and shaking. He only got 400 points by getting into the top 40. That means that he will lose everything if he don't win against our hero. People behind him are speaking, saying that's a heavy price for a loss. He's trying to stand out right when everything begins and proving that he's one of those fools from the novels. But the guy knows that the albino bimbo is looking at him, and now he made the offer with his honor in the game. Now he can't back off anymore, and he has to keep going. Our boy is leaving. "See you later if you don't have the guts." But the guy shouts, "Stop it." "Okay, 300, let's enter the ring." So if you got some guts after all, we don't need a ring if you don't fall to your knees. In 3 moves I lose. But the author had Alzheimer's and they appeared in the ring anyways. The teacher tells everyone 3 seconds, then you can act but no killing moves. 3, 2, 1, boom. The guy rushes in thinking that a punishment knight is just like a Saint Knight since both of them came from the knight class. But the punishment knight excels in dealing damage while the Saint Knight is just a support, so this will be a piece of cake. I just need to be fast so he cannot use his buffs. Then the silver gorgeous princess Madam will look at me differently. But unfortunately for him, the name of the series is SSS Saint Knight, and boy, you're going to get humbled while she's going to look at you differently with disdain and disgust. There he comes with blood slash. Our boy just sidesteps and throws a knee in his belly, and the guy goes flying out of the ring, almost dying already. Our edge boy says that it was boring as truck. I thought that he had something up his sleeves. Turns out he's down with 1 hit. The senior goes to help the guy, and everyone is in shock. He comes and says the guy broke 5 ribs and has internal bleeding and of course fainted. Juicy Goth doesn't seem to care and just says, "Let a priest heal him." She gave back our boy's card saying that 300 points have been sent for him. The silver-haired demon girl cannot take her eyes off her boy, and her design is fire, gotta say. Everyone doesn't seem to understand what happened, and she's thinking about the difference in their strength. So she calls for him, "Please have a match with me, then hurt me a lot so in the end you can heal me." Joking, she just asked for the fight, but maybe the second part is going to happen. Our boy uses the system to look at her. He knows that it's the girl that was at the gate, and she has some bloodline and also legacy equipment, which is something like a legendary weapon. Seeing something like that, he wants to test his powers, so he accepts. We are back in the ring, and he pulls out his warhammer this time. Some seniors are perplexed with so much fighting between the freshmen, but the other guy says, "Relax, it's just some rookie spars." The guy is Li Dong Shen, one of the Aurora Club captains, level 29 spearman. The panel is 3, 2, 1, begin. Silver Girl is rushing our boy with a shadow slash, and he uses a typhoon slash. The powers collide in the middle of the arena, and both of them seem to be fine. But she is thinking, what powerful strength, he's monstrous. She then uses her demonic powers, covering all her weapons with dark magic. But our boy just smiles and goes for the fight, saying, "Finally someone who can fight me head on." He goes for a juice hammer knocker while she uses an enhanced rapid stab. From outside, no one can see what is happening. The other freshmen are asking, is this really a fight between 2 new students? But Lin Dong says that without a trump card, the girl will lose soon. Purple Hair says that they look on equal footing for him. Ling Dong explains that she had to defend 1 swing out of 3 before, but now she's already having to defend 2 out of 3, and that means she's getting exhausted. Which is strange because normally when someone uses a huge weapon, they try to conserve stamina until they see an opening. But Juvii is not showing any sign of conserving his stamina, and it's getting harder for her to block this warhammer. The girl is sent back, and her boy tells her, "I'm done warming up Gift of God, Gift of Courage, Weapon Blessing, and Blessing of Dome." She thinks that this is too much pressure. This is his true strength, while he is also pulling out the Spear of Victory. She uses a Phantom Slash and dodges our boy's attack. But he says that he knew that she would use that, and the golden spear is about to splash all over her face and make a mess. She asking herself undid him, but boom, she's down. He stops right when he was about to cover her with his holy light and says, "Do you want to continue?" She gets up. No. The result will be the same against such overwhelming aggression and brutality. But our hero knows that she didn't go all out because she didn't use any of her secret swordsman skills and also only a fraction of her dark elemental power. She smiles at him and tells him that he found out, but it's just a spar, so of course she's not going to use her trump card. Also, she knows that he's hiding something because she saw his video and then asks for his number. She saves his number, all happy, while our boy with his thick teacher. After some time, they arrive in the place that he will be staying, and in the door, she told him that she heard that he's looking for the freezing lotus, and gives him information about a party that 6 years ago was at the Tempest Range searching for it. But they eventually gave up cause the monsters were too strong, but she cannot guarantee anything. Suddenly, our boy becomes a hacker, with 300 screens searching for informations on that said mountain, and now he knows that he is way too weak to search in that place for the time being. The part is that the system rewarded him an item that can resurrect once for being first place, and because of that, he's going to buy everything that he can and go like a psycho. So using his Valorant flicks to buy all the skills he could and also acquire a forest set of equipment, he went to the mountain. Now he's also an albino boy that is causing explosion everywhere. While the albino girl is in her room staring at her phone, she invited him to have a juicy workout together, but he refused to go to the mountain. So she calls a friend with green hair that looks like is going to cause trouble, telling her that she met a boy and he's special. The friend asks how special, and she says that she fought yesterday against him with the intention of her female charm to receive some healing, but unfortunately, he was a Sigma. Her friend tells her that he really has some willpower to resist her when she suddenly shouted that she was going to the mountain range to see him. Then we see a car driving over some monster and a cute girl throwing bombs. She is the mechanical girl Zhu Xiao, and with her is the smart-looking cold summoner Wen Tian Run. But suddenly a monster was above their car and was going to explode them, but relax, we have the Chicago citizen Zhu Dan to easily kill those guys with a Tristana ultimate. Then she shouted for someone to act, and finally we saw something amazing. With thick thighs enveloped by blue stockings was the swordsman Su King Lian. The mechanical girl was celebrating the victory when the summoner told her to step back and made an ice protection spell that was absolutely evaporated by a fire blast. The cars were destroyed and everyone was hurted. The mecha girl was trying to fix everything so they could flee when the other girls from the floor shouted for her to run. Behind her, some creatures were casting a blast attack from their mouths. Staring at the imminent death, they all thought the same thing. Will we really meet our end here? The magma-like was launched on the girls when our boy was arriving with his white wolf. He activated the sacred storm and huge golden cross appeared around the monsters. The cross started to rotate as creating a typhoon of sacred flames. The monster were agonizing when a heavenly creature said, "The light converges and the storm falls." All the monster got sucked to the sky from where a gigantic golden blade was coming. When everything exploded, debris went flying everywhere. And with the dust settling, our boy just tapped on his wolf, signaling him to cease the fire. The four babes were perplexed with the forest being vanished in a second, while our boy just used his warm, comfy Uzi healing on them. After filling them with his heavenly light, the girls stood up and thanked him. They were quite ashamed for being saved by the new junior, and the thick thigh babe told him that even though he was strong, it would be better for them to go back and restock their supplies. Our boy was thinking that it has been 1 whole month that he's there searching for the frozen lotus without success. In 3 days is going to be the competition, so maybe it's a good time to go back, and so he accepted the offer. Thicker nodded to Mecha Girl that created a new GX Spider Giant Mech Shine, and with that, they went together. On the way back, our healer was talking with the Wide One as always, asking if it is common to have demons in this region, but she told him that her team have come to hunt a lot of times there, but it's the first time that they saw demons. Then he asks if has a military base around, and she says that there is a resupply and trading base that also protect the place against high-level demons. Because those demons were level 20, they were not detected. But it's strange how those demons suddenly appeared. Maybe there's some sort of dimensional crack that is bring them that means at any moment a ton of demon can appear. Suddenly in the car, they felt the presence of demons, and a purple light from far away was shining. They instantly knew that was someone that had been targeted by the demons. Zhou Yi told them to go back first, and he was going to see what was happening there. They shouted his name, telling him that it was dangerous. In the way, he felt the presence of someone and asked himself why she was here. In the middle of the forest, a group of trash were talking, saying that they should just leave the girl to die cause it is impossible to deal with 20 platinum demons. In the fight, the demon was attacking with a laser beam, and of course the albino babe was the one about to die because she only had some more seconds with her bloodline skill. The demons were attacking her relentlessly, but the group was big and alone wasn't possible. She had killed a bunch, but they just kept coming. Look at her face, all angry, when suddenly she heard someone saying Thunderfall. A parade of light came from the sky, creating golden explosions through the whole battlefield, and even though the amount of demons was immense, the area of effect was big enough to leave that place desolated. Zhou Yi arrived, shouting for her to move away. An immense purple creature was screaming, releasing a power right behind her. She covered her ears out of pain while the king with the berserk body of fire was standing there. The creature jumped in her direction, and she told Zhou Yi be careful. She knew that the demon power has just doubled and now was uncertain if the duo could beat that, so she had the saddest plan on earth. She wanted to self-destruct and protect Zhao Liya. But thank God, he just grabbed her waist and pulled her before the demon was able to strike her. He looked behind and used his punishment of light in the whole area, and once more surrounded the whole battlefield with a light punishment from the sky. He told her that now he understood why so many people like to be mages. Killing monster from so far away feels great. But right in front of them, another group was coming, and suddenly, they were completely surrounded. Is it just me, or has the art style changed completely? Our edgy healer used his golden fingers to imprint some comfy warmth inside her. She felt her body being filled with all those buffs. Flamm's slow regeneration to the gift of God. Seeing her own status panel, she was impressed with the creamy points that she just gained. He told her to go left to distract the creatures while he was going to kill as much as he could. He rushed with his warhammer and the monster was getting ready to attack him, but his holy slash was easily cutting everything. Running with the wolf, Jiang Chu was thinking that her status increased by a total of 25%. Superpower almost doubled, but according to what she knows, not even level 25 Saint Knight can buff so much, and even stranger, he's only at level 16. But that was the moments that a creature punched the floor right in front of her. She had to stop with wolf and get ready for the fight, but the wolf easily attacked the purple demon. She was also attacked and had to besiege her weapon with her dark aura, cause she needed to buy as much time possible to Zhou Yi, that at the same moment was cutting through dozens of creatures. He distracted for a second, and a monster had the opportunity to attack him from behind. When the blade was about to touch his neck, a dark circle aura perpetuated the whole sky, vanishing that creature. It was Jiang Chu utilizing her shadow succubus whip that I wouldn't bother to let it hit me 3 times at max. Seeing all those creatures around them, our hero noticed that all of that was happening because of him. His holy powers was attracting every dark monster as a moth goes to flame. And he knew that it was the perfect time to use his best kick, like Cristiano Ronaldo sending a dome protection to John. He touched his chest and summoned a holy cross, but the size of this one was incomprehensible. With a hopping 200 meters range, all the demons in the area were disintegrated by the holy flame, while Jiang was standing there completely mesmerized with such a destructive power. The only creatures that could stand were those of high ranks, but relentlessly and without wasting a second, Zhou Yi said. Under the holy light, all darkness shall be vanquished, because when the light converges, the storm falls. It was his special attack that creates a circling cross around the creatures that rotates until it creates a tornado that vanishes the whole battlefield. From behind the forest, no one could believe what they were seeing. Is that something that a human really can do? The soldier asked his captain, should we announce ourselves? The captain was level 26 and knew that his team couldn't fight those creatures, but that guys alone, they're soloing everything, but maybe that was the perfect chance for him to make friends with such a prodigy. It was when the 4 girls that he just saved appeared again in the spider mecha. A Chicago Babe was about to say that they arrived to help him, but all they saw was a desolated place with our 3 heroes standing. Zhou Yi drank a potion, leveled up to 18, but his status was way higher than your average level 18, and with 156 plus 39 of wisdom, he was smart enough to leave a like in this video. Do you remember that the last chapter ended right when he and our dear Jiang Chu had just defeated the boss? He leveled up a few times and drank a little potion. Zhou Yi realized that he had many skills but not enough mana to use them all, and decided that he would ask the teachers about it when he returned. Suxing Liang came to talk to him, asking how he managed to handle everything. Even the sharpshooter Zhu Dan commented that his strength was somewhat unusual. Before he could answer, Jiang Chu collapsed to the ground, exhausted. The long battle had drained all her succubus powers. The girls kept asking how he had faced so many demons. Zhou Yi said they were only level 23 demons, so it wasn't difficult. But the girl kept analyzing him. He asked what the problem was. She explained that the legion of demons, like humans, had a general, and if he wasn't there, it meant he would soon appear. With that, they started to retreat. In the forest, people were still wondering what the boss was going to do. When he was about to say something, everything started to shake, and they felt a demonic aura. In the sky, they could see something resembling a dragon's visage approaching. It was the white dragon, and there was someone on its back. It was a level 30 demon summoning monster, flying on a level 24 fire albino dragon. All emergency radars in the region began to activate. Over the walkie-talkie, they were warned that all troops should prepare for combat. An army of adventurers quickly formed, and everyone received notices at other bases to also take the teleport and head to that region. The priests began to gather mana in case they needed to use a lot of magic to heal the wounded. The mages prepared to cast spells, and the warriors were teleported. Men, those guys are prepared. And a boy went to inform the northern major that the troops were waiting for commands. He drew his sword, shouting a war cry, saying that he was the blade that cut the thorns and the shield that protected that land. The soldiers repeated the words, and with that, he gave the order to advance. On his throne, the Demon King said that each of the attackers was always personally chosen by him. He had lost less than a dozen in all the time he had been on Earth, but this time, they had lost hundreds of lives. He then informed the army that since they were leaving tomorrow, they were free to do whatever they wanted. The demons celebrated, saying it was the best gift, while the king said he would never forgive whoever did that. Already on top of the dragon, he promised he would steal the soul and burn it in hell. Zhu Yi and the group just watched it, and the Demon King gave a summoning ability. With that, platinum-level creatures were summoned. Suxing Lang used an analysis device and noticed that there were several platinum and legendary-level monsters. She turned to Zhu Yi and said that the blue squad would protect him and told him to escape. He was confused, and the babes stepped in, saying his life was very important. Suxing Lang thought that a genius like him could not die there. It's worth dying for the boy. Man, they are dedicated. You just met him and already want to die for our boy. From the sky, a foot started to emerge from a golden pentagram. Giant Shu was confused and the girls celebrated, saying it was the Northern Protection Team. But the demon told them not to celebrate because no one could enter with a teleport inside the barrier formation. Suxing Lang responded that it didn't make sense, but the army appeared. The problem was that it was very far and the leader asked what had happened. The teleport guys said they went to the nearest place outside the barrier since they couldn't enter it and said they would have to wait for it to disperse. The Northern Major asked how long and he said at least 5 minutes. He took a deep breath and said to prepare the information about the people who were inside. When the battle was over, they should at least collect their remains so that the families could hold a burial. Man, did they kill our protagonists and our babes just like that? Calm down, our boy is still there. And the system appeared saying legendary demons have been detected and missions were created. You should kill the demon spawn and would receive an S-rank talent plus a fortune medicine. Obviously, our boy smiled and got excited. If there's a mission, there's a way. He walked forward with a golden aura while the girls were all asking what the hell he was going to do again. The king remarked that he had a thick and sacred aura. What you mean by that? Expressing certainty that he was the one who killed the demons, and if that were the case, he would have to be killed. He advanced, declaring that he would die in infinite agony. Calmly with his golden eyes, Zhou Yi drew his weapon. The dragon prepared a lightning attack and launched it towards the group. Suxing Liang screamed desperately for our boy, but he simply raised his arm and sent a light attack towards the dragon. I thought it would be like a Dragon Ball's impact where nothing happens, but his attack pierced through and even tore off the wing of the fool up in the sky. With that, the king and the dragon began to fall, crashing to the ground. The poor demon was still getting up when Zhou Yi was already beside him, ready for smash him. But the demon was not weak and managed to react, sending a slash towards him. Strangely, there was nothing where he struck, and something was already coming from the side of his head. He almost got hit by a hammer, barely defending himself. Man, the impact lifted the entire ground and the demon had to retreat. Even he was confused about how it was possible for an 18th level human to have enough power to go against him. Zhou Yi, fully confident, said that he was more resilient than he thought. The demon, enraged, leaped towards him before he could finish speaking. The protagonist jumped, dodging, and sent a light slash from above. The demon was hit and got a disoriented status. With that, Zhou Yi prepared a light punishment, and the demon tried to activate a demonic fire shield. The attack hit the shield squarely, and the demon seemed to be able to withstand it. That damn Zhou Yi said it looked like he would have to take this seriously. It was time to use what he received when he finished the exam. The demon seemed confused and called for the approaching generals. He gave the order to kill Zhou Yi, who was dancing like a cute princess in the sky. The boy's dance was no joke, and that thing was radiating a golden aura. The girls were all in shock at the performance, and the knights were a bit confused. Even the monsters didn't understand what was happening. Until Zhou Yi clasped his hands together and a giant palm came from the sky. The Demon King had a premonition that something terrible was about to happen. The light beam began to sweep the area until the hand crushed everything there. The girls were wondering if that really was Zhou Yi's doing. Even Jiangchu's bloodline was scared. The Northern Major said that it was enough to rival a magical canyon. He asked if they already had information about who was inside. The teleport guy said they were all students from Kang University, and the one who had unleashed this ability was the Holy Knight Zhou Yi. The Major said it would be very sad to lose someone so strong, especially since the Demon King would not lose to that. At that moment, the king started to rise, saying that he was brave to have offended the great Arimas. He looked like the monsters from One Punch Man and sent the army of flames to advance. The army was still standing, and all of them now imbued with flames. The priests began to give buffs, and everyone jumped towards Zhou Yi. Debuffs were coming from all sides, creatures from above and ahead. The demon, while his arm was healing, said it was impossible to lose to an 18th level knight. The priest agreed, saying they would win because of the numbers. Zhou Yi was worried. God's hand had consumed all his mana, and the recovery was very low. The only thing left was the divine summoning, a secret ability of the saint that could only be used once. He activated it, and immediately, a beam of light came from the heavens towards the earth. The energy pierced the demon's barrier, consuming everything in its path. The monsters looked scared, and Arimas didn't know what was happening. Now the rascal drew the legendary 6 wings. Actually, he received a very warm, plumpy hug, right? Look at the cozy headrest. The demons were still all confused. What were those fiery feathers falling from the sky? Until they all started to burn in holy flames. The Northern Major realized it was a divine summoning technique. The teleport guy didn't even know what that was. The Major explained that it was a maximum level ability that only some divine classes possess. Once he saw a level 58 priest use something similar and change the battlefield. Orimas, dying of rage, said it was impossible for an 18th level person to have such a secret ability. The priest tried to warn the king that if this ability was not interrupted, the entire legion would be exterminated. Orimas said that ability could switch between attack and defense and asked how long the Shadow Valley gate needed. The guy said 1 minute was all they needed. The king said he understood and declared that it was time for them to show their loyalty. He ordered all those remaining in the army to sacrifice everything they had for Orimas. One by one, the monsters knelt, sending all their energy to the demon. He concentrated the power in his chest, forming a purple energy. Meanwhile, Zhou Yi was flying in the sky, carried by his big and thick angel. She whispered in his ear that this species was vile and low, and she would grant him divine power. Stretching the boy's hand, she recited the classic, "Then God said, 'Let there be light.'" A single beam of light cut through the sky and exploded the ground. The demon stood up, all battered. The attack had created a wound in his belly, but the fiend had not fallen. He retaliated with an attack of black flames, raising an orb of malignant energy and summoning solar fire. Confident, he knew this was the secret ability of the demonic flame race, achievable only because his people had sacrificed themselves. Now he was resolute and sent the demon son towards Zhou Yi. Our boy did not dodge. He stood still and static. The heavens exploded. Below, Orimas was exhausted from using so much energy, and the girls were all anxious, asking when the boy was. There he was, relief, intact with golden eyes. The demon started getting angry, saying it seemed they were now on the same level, but it was okay since a minute had passed and the return formation was complete. He only needed to get out of there. However, Jia proclaimed that the heretic should be judged in the name of the gods and ordered him to die. He launched a light slash that hit the demon's back, tearing half the field. Through the smoke, he approached. The demon, writhing on the ground, begged to return to his sacred realm, until his arm fell to the ground, lifeless. The demons who had given their powers were hiding behind some rocks, unsure of what to do. In the sky, Zhou Yi saw that the demon was dead and the formation had been broken. Realizing it was finally over, he fainted. As he fell, the cheerleaders ran towards him. He regained consciousness to see them all worried and the northern army approaching. He heard people talking about his message and was trying to lift his hand in the hospital, saying he couldn't get up because there was something on his chest. He wondered if he was cursed or dying when he suddenly woke up in a panic. Then he noticed. It was the succubus sleeping on him. She said she had been there for 2 days while he thought the damned babe nearly killed him. She wasted no time pulling him in and giving him a cheek kiss, thanking him for saving her. She stayed for a moment and then left the room. Man, our boy was left a bit confused. The first thing that made him sad was not completing the daily missions while he was sleeping. At least he defeated the Demon Legion and received the S-rank talent Death Resistance, which makes him regenerate faster the closer he is to death. Additionally, he received an S-rank potion, the Potion of Luck. Our boy thought the talent had a simple name and effect, but being S-rank, it surely wasn't weak. The psychopath drew the blade and gave it a test. His body was healed immediately, and he trusted the system's talent. He then wondered if he might even regenerate his organs and was already drawing the big axe. Then he realized that might be too much. Seeing the system's potion, he wondered how lucky he'd be drinking it. However, since the effect lasted 12 hours, he said he would check it later. Another reward was a halo of Sacred Flame, level A. He remembered when he used the ability. Something appeared on his back, and he wondered if that was it. He was curious about how to best use his abilities since it increased fire and light damage. Someone knocked on the door. He went to the meeting with the Northern Vice Captain, who informed him they had captured the other demons. Zhou Yi said it was nothing and asked what he wanted. Wang Lang then said the major should have come to thank him, but was busy. He took an orb from his pocket, which began to open the room and form a kind of warehouse. There were various legendary rank items. He explained they had been accumulating these things for centuries, and he could choose what he wanted. Zhou Yi saw there were many S-rank treasures and immediately asked if they had a frozen lotus. After searching, Liang found it and asked if it was that one. Our boy smiled, saying it was exactly that. Liang felt a bit uneasy, as it was more valuable than he thought, but agreed and dissolved the projection. He mentioned that the lotus was protected in their center, so it would take a few days to bring it. Technically, he wasn't supposed to give away something so valuable. However, it was perfect for the southern folks to ally with a prodigy like Zhou Yi. He then opened the door, but Zhou Yi told him that he needed to return to school tomorrow, so they should send the lotus to his dormitory. Liang acknowledged this, realizing he had forgotten that the boy was a student. With that, he left, saying Zhou Yi would receive it in 2 days. Our boy collapsed onto the couch, relieved, thinking his sister was now safe. His greatest ally in this whole story had been our Yuma's, whose death led him to gain the lotus. Seeing that it was almost midnight, he needed to finish his daily missions. Meanwhile, Su Ting Lang was extremely dangerous and soapy. Her friends came running to her, suggesting they should invite Zhou Yi to join their team. She responded that she thought he would refuse since it was easier for him to hunt alone. Her friends insisted that she should at least try inviting him with some extra insistence. She then knocked on the boy's door, but our boy was attempting to seduce her by lifting his shirt. She was a girl of few words and immediately asked if he wanted to join the Blue Phoenix team. He seemed a bit confused, and she mentioned that the girls on the team missed him and his warm and cozy healings. Gracefully, she approached, saying she wanted to thank him for what he did in the valley. The king of cheek kisses earned another one as she left. Our boy thought that the girls at this university were very bold. These were the most laid-back ones I'd have ever seen. My man is not ready for some tsundere aggression. At a meeting, a guy informed everyone that the demons had learned to travel through portals. The projectional horn man asked if he was sure and what that meant. The northern major explained that it meant demons could now attack the earth at any moment. If multiple openings were made, they could be in danger of extinction. The only relief was that only level 30 creatures could pass through medium-level openings. The horn man responded that if that was the case, they needed to act quickly. He instructed the snake girl to prepare legions for any attack and the Senator Zhang, who was the cat, to inform other countries about this. A man with a red mark on his forehead asked if all this was due to the 18-year-old boy, showing the projection of our boy. He confirmed that his name was Zhou Yu, and that he was a holy knight of Sukeng University. Seeing that he ranked first as a holy knight, people were shocked. It was extremely rare for a support class to be any other. They advised Wang Hu to personally check on this boy. He agreed, giving the northern major confidence that Zhu Yi would receive everything he needed. At Sukeng University, the first day was starting. The teachers of each class gathered there. In front of the crowd, they all introduced themselves. The head of the war house introduced himself as Wu Mang, welcoming everyone to the university. He announced that the rookie competition would now begin, conducted in 2 phases, with the first being a secret kingdom challenge. In the second phase, everyone would have a chance to challenge someone ranked above them, and if they won, they would steal that ranking. Thick goth teacher was there looking for our boy, wondering where he was. The red-haired guy in the crowd listened to everyone talking about Zhu Yi. No one had seen him for a month, and the guy was confident he had fooled out of fear. Wu Meng announced the start of the competition and ordered the secret Silver Kingdom to open. A giant gate opened in front of them, and he said that this year they had the largest army ever seen. Therefore, only this time the Abyss difficulty would also be open. Everyone was excited. This extra difficulty was about 12 times harder than normal. Seeing the excitement, Wu Meng shouted for everyone to bring their best weapons and prepare. The Secret Kingdom was the home of the bears for levels 12 to 19, and people began to teleport. At that moment, the rankings started updating. He asked where numbers 1 and 3 were, and Juicy Dark Babe explained that both had gone north to gain experience but hadn't returned. Wu Mang said it was ridiculous for 2 such promising individuals to skip initial training, and that they seemed conceited just because of their high ranks. The voluptuous obscure sphere holder tried to explain that Zhu Yi wasn't like that, but he said there was no need to protect him. If they were absent, they should just reverse the rank. But suddenly our boy was bringing the succubus girl like an Amazon delivery. He ran so fast that no one even saw them enter the portal. The system warned that it would be an extremely dangerous place where the return scroll could be used. Our boy was in a hurry. As soon as he entered, he used 4 blessings, facing an army of level 17 bears. For someone who had killed a bunch of level 30 demons, it was easy. Meanwhile, Jiang was easily killing the bears. The red-haired guy was confident that he would be the top one. The blondie was shooting, and the professors were impressed with this year's students' performance. Wu Mang said he wanted to see what number 1 was doing to have spent so much time in the north. Our boy was already equipped with his halo and axe. One swing and the monsters exploded, leaving no trace. The first level of the 16 bears was defeated in 5 seconds, which the elders thought was impossible. They discussed how someone from the support class could kill faster than others. However, thinking about our boy's ring, it commented that the boy didn't waste any time. Using it activated the light punishment and cleared the field. He headed towards the boss, jumped, pulled out the victory spear, and finished another one. Quickly, he was advancing and leveling up his talents, impressed by their evolution. He knew that the power of a class depended on talents. Previously, he only had the S-rank talent of the Holy Knight. However, now it was much easier to fight without spending so much energy. He was already done and approaching the exit when a message indicated he could open additional secret levels. He sensed a terrible dark smell, but knew it would be fun. The professors were impressed, saying he was brave and adapted very quickly. However, the tactics professor Zhang Ling said he had a problem. The Holy Knight class required many points to evolve in all directions, which could be a problem. Wu Mang said that once he finished the test, he would have a talk with the boy. However, now everyone wanted to have a conversation with him and have him as a student. Then the director and the man from the projection meeting appeared, saying they seemed excited about Zhu Yi, and he was eager to see his power. In the middle of the dungeon, Zhou Yi wondered if a cult was happening there. Just as there were benevolent gods, there were also evil ones. The one sitting on the throne reeked of darkness. Praying to a divine god was a simple act of trust. However, evil gods demanded sacrifices of the soul and life. Observing the carcass on the throne, he knew that not only humans prayed to evil beings, even beasts, elves, and even angels prayed to such gods. In front of him, a giant level 19 bear formed, announcing that he would be a perfect sacrifice. Zhou Yi knew that the creature was immune to physical attacks, which would be very sad for a martial artist. He activated everything he had and called the beast to attack. Surrounded by a whirlwind of golden light, the bear said it was useless and leaped at him with a dark blow. The whirlwind dissipated, but Zhu Yi was intact in the middle. He just observed, and the bear roared, saying that light was strong but insignificant compared to the immortality he had achieved. He continued cursing Zhou Yi, saying he would die. Zhou Yi, tired, told him to resist this. He created a golden orb above the monster, and when the smoke cleared, it was still alive, shouting again that he was immortal and the light would not kill him. Zhou Yi said he shouted too much and began making multiple light orb summons above the beast. The poor thing began to explode, and the energy it had been accumulating was consumed. After a minute and 12 seconds of continuous magic, he finally won. He received a golden horn as a reward and left, saying that immortality was just an illusion. All he had to do was burn the power until it ran out. The only thing that caught Zhou Yi's attention was that the place had a strange power. It seemed like the opposite of the divine power he used for summoning. Probably the evil gods have something like that. The flame guy was fighting the bears until he finally killed them again. He was exhausted, saying this extra level was harder than he thought. Facing another one, he was confident he would win in 8 minutes and charged forward. The chubby one was impressed with Zhou Yi's magic, saying he was indeed a surprise for everyone. He had already left the zone and everyone wanted to recruit him. Then the director gave a little cough to the guy beside him. Wu Meng wondered if the chief of the place was really interested in the boy. They found it incredible that he was already at level 19, considering he was level 13 on the day of the test. The director explained that he evolved so much because he spent all his time hunting in the northern region. For someone who defeated a demon flame general, that test was too easy. Shortly after, the fire guy also emerged from the portal. Seeing Zhu Yi, he wondered if the kid had cleared it before him. He was already fuming, saying it was impossible for him to lose to this trash. He carried the glory of the 8 great families and was not supposed to lose to a northern trash. Meanwhile, Zhou Yi wondered why the guy was so shaken. Suddenly, Zhang started to fall awkwardly. You know what happens next? Our boy saved her in midair. The girl, mid-fall, was already smiling, saying he was amazing for finishing before her. A second later, people were crashing down around them. Sumai rushed in, telling them to call the medical team immediately. An hour later, everyone was healed. Wu Meng announced that the first phase of the competition was over, and it was time to announce the rankings. For some reason, the red-haired guy was confident, even having seen Zhao Yi leave before him. Obviously, our boy came in first with about 5 minutes, while Sheng Lingfeng took more than 20. Seeing this, the fool was furious, wondering how the bastard had finished 15 minutes earlier. Distracted, he tripped and hit his chin on a pillar, thinking about how he would take down that kid later. Zhou Yi just looked to the side, wondering why that guy was up there. Wu Meng announced that the second phase would start and everyone could challenge someone. Each participant had 3 challenge opportunities and a 5-minute rest. People started announcing their challenges, and someone, of course, mentioned Zhao Yi. It was Lingfeng, smiling confidently and calling him out. Cracking his fingers, he said now they would see who was really stronger. Jiang Shu explained that this guy was in second place and also had the dragon fire lineage. While she explained, our boy thought the guy was a fool for challenging him when he was clearly stronger. Without much hesitation, he jumped up and told the guy to come at him with everything he had. Lingfeng, excited, said they would see who was stronger, the Holy Knight or the Berserker. As soon as it started, Lingfeng leaped up with a fire punch and Berserker lineage. The professors commented that he seemed eager to finish quickly. However, the flames that hit Zhou Yi didn't even pass the sacred barrier. Lingfeng found it strange and asked when he had used that ability. Due to the B+ sacred protection, any physical attack was blocked up to a certain amount. Poor Lingfeng was already shaken. His plan was to prevent the guy from using this protection, but now it was ruined. Zhou Yi smiled, saying it was a good plan, but he activates that ability in 0.1 seconds. He raised his axe, saying he gave this chance just to see if the fight could be good. He then swung at his face, saying enough of this. Lingfeng tried to activate a fire shield, which was shattered in 0.5 seconds. The boy was being ejected from the arena, wondering how this bastard was so strong. He looked down and saw nothing because Zhou Yi was already beside him. Angry, he said he wouldn't lose and activated something. An explosion happened in the skies and he had activated the fire dragon body. Again, Zhou Yi appeared behind him, saying it seemed like that was his hidden lineage. Grabbing the guy's hand, he thought he envied those born with such blessings. However, ready to hammer him, he said that even with that, he stood no chance. He swept the entire arena and Lingfeng survived barely. Zhou Yi realized the guy dodged at the last second. Lingfeng declared that the dragon lineage wasn't limited to physical powers and now he would see its true power. He said to fire breath towards Zhou Yi, who stood there as always. The audience had no idea who would win and Zhang was becoming insecure. Then Zhou Yi activated the sacred fire ring. Since it had flame properties, Lingfeng's powers began to be absorbed. For him, that guy in front was like a king. He shouted to himself that this was impossible and sent another attack. However, Zhou Yi said it was useless as flames never escaped his control. Attacking with a hammer, he announced it was time to finish this. Seeing his own flames coming at him, Lingfeng said he would never die from the power he had. He activated his lineage power, claiming he would regain control of his flames, but he got smacked in the face and was thrown out immediately. He collided with the arena's protection and then the lineage dispersed. With that, Zhou Yi had won, and the medics came to help the poor guy. The professors commented on how strange it was for someone with so much magical power to also have so much physical power. Suddenly, another girl, also the top of her region, entered the arena. She introduced herself as Song Xiaolin, a level 17 Taoist priestess who wanted to learn from him. Zhao Yi thought that the Taoist priest class was quite rare. He introduced himself and she asked if he had used all his power and requested that he activate all his buffs so she could feel his stats. Everyone commented on this strange request, and our boy agreed. She thanked him and he began activating a bunch of buffs. She was impressed, and our boy raised a golden light, stating it was his maximum power. Confidently, she activated several talismans and asked him to use everything he had. At that moment, he swung his hammer on her head. She surrounded him with talismans, cast an enchantment, and commanded an explosion. The terrain was destroyed, and as she ran around, she wondered where Zhou Yi had gone. He appeared behind her, asking if she really thought she could escape that easily. He swung the hammer again, which she barely managed to defend against. She was scared that even with all her defensive passives, it was difficult to defend. Deciding to take a risk, she threw some spheres at him and performed a jutsu. She borrowed the power of Qi and Ku and commanded the horde to obey her. Zhou Yi found it interesting that a Taoist priestess could summon soldiers. They charged at him, but our boy just prepared and hammered them all. He noticed the creatures weren't strong but seemed to recover very quickly. He kept striking while the girl couldn't believe it. That formation had trapped level 30 people before, and he was handling it easily. A second later, he was behind her, about to strike again. Realizing she couldn't win, she surrendered, apologizing and admitting that Zhou Yi had won. He asked why she didn't go all out. She winked, saying she knew she couldn't win, so she accepted defeat gracefully. She wasn't stupid. She knew that taking Zhou Yi's heavy hits on her small, plumpy body would prevent her from fighting in the other two battles. She left, thanking him. Our boy turned to the crowd, spun his hammer, and asked who was next. Obviously, no one was eager to challenge him. Jiang Shu was proud, while Su Mai said it was expected that he showed strength beyond imagination. Wang knew that all the professors would want to recruit the boy. Su Mai turned to speak to the chief, who said she didn't need to worry. He had a strategy to recruit the boy. A guy came to knee Lin Feng in the chest, and before he fell, he grabbed his arm and kneed him in the chin too. Poor guy was done for. Wang Li, the blondie, said it was a good fight, but that he didn't stand a chance. Half an hour later, it was all over. Zhou Yi was first, Jiang second, and Song third. They then gathered in front of the professors. Wang Lai started introducing each of the houses. The house he belonged to focused on battlefield survival and was called the House of War. The wizard with magical powers was obviously from the elemental house. The redhead announced that those who wanted to use weapons should join the House of Armaments. The old woman, or possibly just someone with white hair, said that her house was for those who like battlefield strategies. The chubby guy said that those who like to create weapons could go to the House of Logistics. Each of them was boasting in their own way. At that moment, Jiang approached our boy and asked where he was going. Wu Mang said that if Zhou Yi went to the House of War, he would be his instructor. Our boy asked about the advantages, and Wu Mang replied that each mentor could recruit an elite student who would learn various techniques and receive exclusive resources. The wizard immediately offered legendary magical equipment, claiming he would be the best mentor. However, the armored guy disappeared and reappeared beside him, saying he would receive any weapon he wanted. There was a fight, with all the mentors wanting to recruit our boy, who felt something similar had happened once before. The underdogs were all shaken, having become second choices. Wang was trying to come up with a plan to steal him from everyone else. The school director then suggested that Zhou Yi become his personal disciple. Everyone turned around without saying a word. The director mentioned that he would bestow upon Zhou Yi the power of a bloodline. Zhou Yi asked what he would gain from this. The director explained that if it worked, he would receive the bloodline of another species. People were amazed, and Lin Feng grew even more enraged at our boy. Meanwhile, Jiang was intrigued, thinking her brother would become even stronger. With the director's offer, no one dared to object. He then brought out an orb with a sword, saying it was a gift from the captain. Ling Feng recognized it as a medal of honor. How did the damned Zhou Yi receive such a thing? Everyone was shocked. To receive a medal of honor, one had to have done something incredible for the nation. The message stated that it was a token of respect for those who contributed to China. Our boy didn't know when he had done this. Wang said that he didn't know how the boy received it, but if it was here, he deserved it. With the medal in hand, our boy thanked the director. The old man said there was no need to be so polite. Zhou Yi, now showing acceptance, said it was an honor to become his student. Wang quickly said they should go then. Wu Mang realized the professor was afraid they would steal Zhou Yi from him. As soon as Zhou Yi disappeared, everyone wanted to talk to Jiang Chu. Now they were fighting amongst themselves while she stood confused in the background. Zhao Yi appeared with the director in a room surrounded by a circle. The room was filled with shelves of potions. He seemed impressed, and the director explained that it was his private mansion. He then walked, saying he would prepare the ability to forge the bloodline technique. A purple circle with 3 elements appeared in the air. The director explained that human bloodlines have a certain limit on how much power they can receive. Therefore, the only way to continue progressing is to mix with the bloodline of another race. Zhou Yi asked if the professor was also interested in leveling up. He said yes, but at his level, it takes years to gain enough experience. Even though he is at level 64, creatures from other worlds that are at boss level are still not easy to defeat. He could receive the bloodline of angels, dragons, or titans. Since his body couldn't accept all three, he had to choose one. The angel bloodline would give him a high affinity with the light element. The titan bloodline would allow him to control lightning. The dragon bloodline, the purest of all, would enable him to exert pressure on any nearby creature. Zhou Yi knew these bloodlines were from creatures of at least level 60. Humbly, he asked the professor which he thought would be best for his case. The professor appreciated his caution for such an important decision. He advised that the Titan and Dragon bloodlines were very powerful, enhancing strength and mana capacity. However, since Zhou Yi had such an affinity with the goddess of light, the angel bloodline would probably suit him best. Zhou Yi agreed that this seemed to be the right choice. The director remarked that Zhou Yi seemed comfortable with the angel bloodline and said he would introduce him to the seniors later. Zhou Yi then asked why he had received the Medal of Honor, as it seemed excessive for just eliminating a simple army. The director revealed that his battle against those creatures last time exposed their plan to invade Earth with small-scale portals. Our boy, shocked, asked if this meant they could appear anywhere in China. The director confirmed, saying that several armies were currently being prepared to handle these teleportations. For now, things were under control since the monster levels were low. Therefore, the priority was to nurture future talents, which was exactly what he expected from his student. Our boy was now fully obedient, responding with "Yes, Professor" to everything. The director then handed Zhou Yi a cue and instructed him to return the next day as the technique would be ready. Observing the choices, Zhou Yi still hadn't decided. He considered using the luck potion, thinking it might help him gain even better things. Without hesitation, he drank the potion, showing no fear. He opened some chests he had stored and received an S-rank flower that increased constitution and spell damage after being consumed. Seeing how much better the gift was under the potion's effect, he knew it was very good. It was time to return to the professor. Meanwhile, the mage from the elemental house told the professor that he was being too generous. An angel's bloodline was something that could spark wars between nations. The director said he had been saving it for a long time and Zhou Yi was the right choice. Just then, our boy appeared. The director said he seemed prepared and mentioned that the technique was ready. He instructed Zhou Yi to take off his shirt and sit in the center of the formation. There he was, ready to receive the angel's bloodline. The director turned to the mage and asked for his assistance. He activated the forging technique and flames of light rose from all four sides. Zhou Yi's chest began to glow and energy flowed into him. A strange blue light started emanating from his body, rising into the sky. The old man noted that Zhou Yi already had the cold bloodline. Now the entire place was freezing. The poor mage struggled to maintain the forging technique. The director remarked that he knew Zhou Yi's sister had something similar, so it seemed to be in their bloodline. But they didn't need to worry since the angel's bloodline would override the other. The strange thing was that they seemed to be in harmony. The director wondered what kind of ice power he had within him to be comparable to an angel's bloodline. Perhaps he was a descendant of a high-level player from the beginning. The biggest problem now was the two bloodlines clashing and ultimately losing both. The old man warned that if this happened, it would be like consuming a simple ranked treasure. But now all they could do was trust that Zhou Yi would achieve results. However, at that moment, a kind of dark energy entered his ear. Zhou Yi opened his eyes and the gate of consciousness had been opened. A woman in the back of a room said her child had arrived. Zhou Yi wondered if this was inside his mind. The woman congratulated him, saying she was there to give him true strength. He no longer needed to follow any morals or rules and should follow his own desires from now on. With a macabre smile, she asked if he accepted this power. Zhou Yi found it strange and felt the urge to smash her head with his hammer. The woman extended her hand, saying she would bless him with power beyond his expectations. But the hammer was already coming down, hitting her face squarely. Facing her, he knew he felt great. It was good to follow his heart. In another place, an angel was blushing and laughing. She sat on a throne with another angel beside her who looked doubtful. "She's the goddess of plenty and warmth, please let me feel it." She said she saw something very interesting, raising her hands and telling the boy not to disappoint her. The one who had taken the hammer blow turned angrily, saying he would receive nothing from the gods. But he pointed the hammer at her and said he didn't want anything from her. She called him an insolent brat and chains emerged from his body, surrounding him with eyes from all directions. Seeing him in agony, she said those sounds were incredible and exactly what she had hoped for. Zhou Yi realized she was a slave to the evil god. She slapped him, telling him to shut up, and said he had caught the master's attention, so she was there to perform the baptism. Black flames began to burn his body. He realized that the evil power was corrupting his thoughts while the evil god watched everything. Outside, the director and the mage wondered what was happening. They tried to intervene, questioning why there was the power of an evil god mixed with the blood of an angel. He tried to interfere with the process, but his attack was repelled. The mage warned that it would be better to break the formation, otherwise Zhou Yi would be consumed. However, Wan Hu told him to pay attention as Zhou Yi's power was not decreasing, but increasing. Our boy was glowing gold and blue, forming even a golden shell. When the aura exploded, the chains were broken. His icy heart was now surrounded by golden flames. The follower of the evil god couldn't understand how he could have so much divine power, and in the next moment, she was also frozen. Now the boy looked like a Dragon Ball character with transformed hair. He wielded the hammer, which had the ice bloodline at the tip, and struck the follower on the head. The entire place trembled and an evil energy exploded. The demon laughed, saying he would not escape and would leave a like on this video to help Mamoru make more juicy content for his viewers. Activate the cheeky little bell, and I'm out.